go over here. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right.
Um,
Whenever you're
and
ready.
watch your VOD. Give me 1 second. I'll give you a thumbs up, okay, dude?
Yep. And hopefully this is not too loud. If so, let me know. But this game is called Reborn. And oh, I forgot to do my part real quick. And there we go. Oh, I forgot to do All right, there we go. All right, so this is Reborn. All right, there we go. All right, so this is Reborn. Real quick, I don't think I can hear your audio, bud. Try talking real quick. I don't think I can hear your audio. I cannot hear your audio. Try talking real quick. I cannot hear your audio. It's okay? On your stream?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Oh, hell no, mannequins. No. Dude.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. Yeah, man.
He just went into like the crypt like that? He just went into like the crypt like that?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So that is
Dude, that game went off the rip.
So that is Reborn. Let's hear your thoughts on that one. So that is
Okay.
Reborn. Let's hear your thoughts
So-
on that one.
Okay. Totally love it. Totally. I think like I'm not really like a first person shoot 'em up game
Right.
kind of guy,
Right.
but I think like under the right circumstances I could stomach one.
Okay.
Which is why I've been super like hesitant towards Resident Evil, Biohazard, and Village.
Yeah.
I feel like if I get myself a little bit more gusto with the other Resident Evil games, like I can learn the things.
Yeah.
Dude, the mannequins, like no, why mannequins?
Yeah.
Why? Like that doesn't make any sense. Freaking I don't know, man. Like the fireballs, like I think like the monster falling into like there's so much jam packed
yeah.
into that was just action based. I'm curious what the storyline is, and I'm curious as to
Same.
like what the why are we there? I want to know the why.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
So what makes me so mad about this game is I heard about this towards the ending of last year, added it to my wish list, and they have nothing in the description. And so I kind of wrote down my little bouts on what I think, what it would be. And obviously, as what you just said, I wrote down that it's clearly a first person horror and kind of satanic vibes mixed in with a fast paced shooter, such as like it gives me kind of like Doom vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like fast paced, is boom, boom, like you just shoot
Or
and go.
Evil Within.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't really go much in detail with that because they didn't write
Not a lot
anything
of details
about
have been
the
put out.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is like newly, but from what it looks like, it got my interest. Like it's there. I
Yeah.
just hope that's not what
Dude.
these games are being recently, which is making me so mad. But with this AI generated games that they're like instantly putting out, and then they gotta keep on updating the game, and it's not even a finished game. Like Pine Harbor was one of them. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it's AI generated. I'm like, why are you even selling a game?
So timeout. Okay, we're gonna put a pin in this because we're. I'm so okay. Sometimes the universe just puts its energy out there, Dom. So we were talking about at work, like if you were to make, because my coworker was talking about AI generated games. I was like, people
Yeah,
can just make video games via AI. Like, what's the point? And the reason why he said that, the whole reason why he brought it up was because apparently iPad came out with this commercial where it like had like this compressor that compressed like music instruments and like paints and brushes and like all these like artistic things, and he just
right.
smashed it and then went like this, and it was like an iPad. He's like, well, everything we can do artistically is going to be on iPads now. I was like, yeah, but people still want. Listen, nobody wants to go to a concert and see a white guy with headphones on playing on a Macintosh computer.
Yeah.
That is not a concert, okay? That's not a DJ. That is just someone who pressed play after making a mix, okay?
Yep.
But then again, like if you look at like what I do sonically with my Eurorack system, it's like, yeah, well, things are generatively happening. I'm putting art into a piece of technology that I know not a lot of people are gonna can make that connection that the music is coming from this technology.
Right.
So, but there's still tactile, there's still some kind of like effort involved, like humanically, that like you have to put into the machines, and then the machines output what this piece of art is, and not every performance is exactly the same,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Unlike press play and boom, you got something. And there's not the same feeling of like, the intensity of what a brush is
Oh
on a
yeah.
piece of canvas, or all like
And I am a
you can
firm
you can
believer
AI
of that
generate a
stuff.
conversation, and that
Right.
doesn't make you a movie script writer.
Yeah.
So
And
if I
that's
was
why I
to make a
like these.
video game,
Right.
oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, if I was to make a video game and I had the opportunity of using AI to make the video game, I mean, it seems interesting, but I don't know if that would make me a game developer. I don't know if like I would be really proud of that work.
It'd be one of those things. Like I am a firm believer of people protesting on AI generated is not art, because it's not.
Mm,
Like when people used to actually go on Photoshop and actually use to paint on Photoshop slash paint on a canvas, that's art.
yeah.
You know, if I'm going to a museum 20 years from now and they're like, this whole museum is AI generated, I'm not. Why am I paying to go to this museum?
Mm.
You know,
Nope,
because
that like
it's not art. And like you said, if I was a game developer, I would probably dabble in the AI generated, but I would not put that game out, much less put that game out for people to buy. You know what
mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like that
Maybe
would be
just to
like a
experience,
right, right. But that's like more
Yeah.
self at home.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Now,
no. Oh,
I will
sorry.
put like a sub, like if I make a amendment, because I agree with you about AI generated art, but here's maybe can I like put a caveat to that?
Yeah.
Because there's a character in Star Trek named Data, and he's an android, right? And he is artificial intelligence, right?
Okay.
And so he has, he can call up history and art, and he can tell you like, oh, this looks very Rembrandt, or this looks very, whatever.
Right.
But like, his art is his art, even if it was something that he drew like we could call it inspiration, but really is it inspiration if an android who can call up any image and say, oh, well, I'll do something like this and make art that way. I mean, there's so many questions that happen in Star Trek where Data is like, is he his own person, or is he just a machine? Does he have a soul? Does he feel feelings? If he doesn't feel feelings, is he a person? Like
The
those kinds
reason
of
the
things.
reason
Like,
why I'm cheesing right now slash like smiling, because like I hate to put it like this, and hopefully people who are listening to this podcast could agree on me. This is kind of, and I swear to God I'm not, but this is kind of high like thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like if a robot paints, would that be AI generated? Like this is that's a deep conversation that I don't even want to think about getting into.
there's a whole so Star Trek totally tackles that, dude.
That's pretty
There's a whole
wow.
episode.
Wow.
Because on one hand, he works for Star Trek, and on the other hand, he's like, well, I go home after work, I have hobbies, I had a kid.
If Pablo Picasso was remade 300 years from now, would it still be Pablo Picasso's art? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
Or
regardless of it
would
coming
this
from a
be
machine
AI?
or yeah,
Wow. All right,
yeah,
man.
man.
That was deep as fuck. Let's get into the second one. I'm
I'm so
interested.
sorry. I
No,
had to
no,
just
no.
kind of
You're
bring that up
great.
because it's
That's
like
awesome. You're
I
not
had
going.
that
I'm not going to sleep tonight because of you. So thank you for that. Like I'm gonna be up all night thinking.
caveat of the side note we just had.
Oh yeah.
So there's this little trick that I do with my music where I use white noise, which is totally random,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
Um, and if you don't use it as sound, you can use it as a pattern to trigger or to create generative music where it's free, it's random, I have no control over it. And so in its own way, this machine that creates static sound is making its own music
Wow.
based off of parameters that I put it to.
Right.
So is it my art or is it the machine's art?
Ooh, buddy. I had both. I feel like it's a
Right?
50-50 there because you
It's a
tell
50-50, yeah.
the machine does the God damn it. Intense. So I hope you're ready for it. We'll get
All
back to
right, I'm
that.
watching over at your channel here now. When I see the screen go up, I'm gonna be watching it.
Myself. This is called ill. So
Plumbers Plumbing. Lords. 10 Lords of Plumbing.
That's what I thought.
Look,
But,
Bob Hopper doesn't know him either.
Bob's got other things to do right. It's news time.
Jesus!
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Wait, huh?
What in the West Virginia is happening here?
So sorry. No, I didn't.
so this is the actual gameplay.
I already know I'm gonna screw this game up. Oh no 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 no.
Now that was ill. And real quick, I got a second part to that. So this was the other one that unfortunately this comes in as a short, but to show you this one. As a short. Yeah, man. That game seems
No 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 no
intense
no no
as
no no
hell.
no no no. Oh, oh, that is like all the nightmares.
So, um, at the beginning of this live stream, I mentioned how oh, crap.
I'm sorry.
No. I thought that was me. I thought that was me.
No, it's me.
So at the beginning of this live stream, I mentioned how there was a game that was getting developed since 2010 or whatever. That's this game. Yeah. Yeah, and there's still no release date on it at all. But they've been in development for a very long time, and I'm hoping it comes out. Supposedly, I think I might be wrong here, but I think it is made by the developers who actually made Resident Evil. That's why when you saw him shoot him in the head, that little like monster, because that's kind of
Yeah.
Resident Evil. But real quick about the game that I wrote down, this is actually, so they do have a description on it. It says, unleash survival instincts, step into the sinister settlement, face the growing horror of unsettling truths into madness. Are you ready to face your fears?
No.
Yeah.
No,
As
I'm not ready. Like that's a whole other level of fear that
oh
is like,
yeah. So
oh God,
I
and
would.
like the door creaks open.
It's intense if you actually look at pre-game, because I guess people have played it or like played like the I don't
Demo.
even kind of, yeah, demo. It's pretty intense. Like it starts you off in like the apartment, and like you gotta like kick those monsters back and use a shotgun. And this the amount of, honestly, again, I'm gonna get into the graphics and physics here. The amount of gore, and just like if you shoot somebody in the arm, they actually like go like that, and like their arm like
Yeah.
splinters off, and it's like holy shit, dude. Like
Dude, the minute I saw that, and then it was like the other arm, and then it was
uh-huh.
finally the guy's noggin, I was like, wow, that's like really good.
Yeah. So
No props, sweetheart.
I
The other
hope.
part of it was like that itself. I honestly, the other part of it where you're going through the hallway and you're creeping up and behind something, I honestly thought maybe it's just my eyes. I do suffer from astigmatism. I know it's not an STD, but I thought it was. Anyway, point is, I thought that it was a wheelchair because, like, you already got me with the mannequins in the last game. So I was like, oh no, this guy went straight for the laundry list of things that scare Sean. And no, but like that guy with like the bell thing,
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah. When I seen that, I was like, "This game's intense as fuck." Like
yo,
that
I
is,
would rather watch someone play that game than actually play that game. I don't have the gonads for that game right now. Ill.
and
ILL.
I will
Ill.
give you the benefit of the doubt. And me being me, you are not a horror game player if you're not scared of mannequins. Because I also am scared of mannequins. If there's mannequins in a
Thank
game,
you.
I don't fuck with it. And I swear to God, because
Yeah.
of games, I'm actually scared of mannequins of real life.
Yeah.
I'm watching,
I,
bro. I'm
I
like,
work at search and rescue, and we
man,
have dummies that we throw in the
ah,
water, or like, we
hell no.
pretend like, oh hey, we're saving these. I don't do it, but the
Right.
actual air crewmen, they deal with that. And so I'm sitting here going like, when so like the one that they dump in the water and they pretend to go save, right? Sometimes it gets too wet and they have to set it out in the sun to dry.
Oh my
So when
god.
I show up, I see like this, mannequin just hanging outside my like,
Oh no.
the hangar, and I'm like, there's always more than one way to get into this building, so I have to take the long way in.
But yeah, man, so that's a game called Ill. And I read up more about it. Apparently, yeah, it's kind of like a Resident Evil thing where it's just like there's a virus that got broke out, hence the name Ill, because people who are ill are now
Mm,
like zombified. And
mm-hmm.
I like it. Again, I know you're not a first person shooter, and to an extent I
Yeah.
am. Like with horror
Oh no,
games, you
you are
get either.
definitely you are way more of a first person shoot 'em up person
Yeah.
than I am.
Oh
Like
yeah.
for real. Like you have that. I don't. I do not have that in me.
I
I
feel
would
like
rather
it's
be the
more
person.
intense when it comes to horror games just like that, because when somebody busts open a door like that on you and you're like, all you could do is shit, like, because like when you have a blunt weapon, you're just like swinging, and it's just like, no, like, here, let me just reload my fucking double barrel shotgun real quick. It's like, now is not the time, my guy.
Right. That's why, like, in California, it's so tricky to, like, again, not to bring like gun ownership into this, but like the things between different states here in
Mhm.
America is like for some states it's easier, for some states it's a little bit more paperwork. Me personally, I'm like, fuck the paperwork. I'll just have a bat. Like,
Yeah, no, so where I'm from,
I'd rather just have a bat on me and just whack a
oh
doodle.
no, no, where I'm from, you used to have to go through paperwork, and then 2 years ago they're like, you don't need it no more. So now you don't know
Mm.
who does or who doesn't, and we just also passed a stand your ground law, so that's awesome. Yeah.
We'll put a pin in that. I will talk about this offline because I've gotten back into the first 48 hours TV show.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But let's get into
Yeah.
yours, man. But yeah, that was ill. I think it's very
Hell yeah, man.
intense, and I love it.
Dude, dude, you got five star on both of yours. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm pulling like
No, you're
maybe like a four and
good.
a half or three on this one.
I think the
Okay,
next
so
one, by the way, I think it could go both ways. I think it'd be up your alley, but then again, I think you'd be more like I interested. How about that? Because
have you noticed that all of mine are third person
oh
and
my
all of
god,
yours
they
are first
are.
person? Cool. Okay, I like that we're like knights in shining armor and
Right.
things like that. I'm digging this.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. I'm not a big fan of medieval shit, but you go see why I'm a fan of this, and it's this right here. Fucking zombies and medieval shit, dude. Hell yeah. Hell
Like
yeah.
the plague? Oh, that's cool.
Right? It's medieval with fucking zombies. And this is
People who
pretty
had the
alpha.
plague were like zombies, and then they were coming after you. This is so cool.
I know.
Why has no one ever done this?
Right? Like there's so many medieval games too.
In so many zombie games.
Exactly. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of medieval, but you put them together and it works pretty damn well if you ask me. Like
This looks like we're not gonna get any wizards or any druids or any like
Right.
MMO, RPG, LMNOP, LGBTQIA plus, shenanigans going down,
So-
Name a letter.
what I've learned from this one, and the only thing that this one said too, I'm just gonna talk while the gameplay's kind of going here. This is in the 14th century.
Okay.
Stop warming your balls and get over here! Hey, are you listening to me?
So-
Really fun.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
There's a deer
You're
or
hearing me.
an elk.
You ain't listening.
Leave off,
Do we have to go
Granger.
hunting? Is that
Look
is
at
that a
him,
thing?
or
I'm
I'll
guessing
make
that's
you.
gonna be a part of the thing. I'm
Oh, there's
guessing
gonna be stealth in this game.
some free roam, some actual humans on top of,
It looks like you have to do stealth in this game too.
Bloody savages, didn't I say?
Yeah, you said it, Granger.
Huh.
Get off him. Oh, you think he's got blight?
Dude, I would not be
Sometimes it's
stealthy
hard
if
to
I was a
spot,
knight in
yeah?
shining
Oh,
army.
God,
Like
no,
you'd hear
it's
ka-clink,
with
ka-clink, ka-clink, ka-clink,
Comes up your
ka-clink.
brain.
I'll be like those people from what is it called? Monte Crisco.
No. Monty Python.
Monty
Python and the
Python,
Holy
that's it,
Grail
yeah.
with the coconuts.
Dead. Much too much sorry for him.
So that's why I like this game too, because now there's
That is
still
so
medieval
cool.
fighting mixed in with zombies and stuff. But yeah, so I could end it there. Honestly, we don't gotta watch the whole
Like
thing.
do like a
but-
bow and arrow thing maybe. If they oh dude just got shanked.
Yeah, I'll end it there though, because that's pretty much it. Just knights and medieval mixed in with fucking a zombie apocalypse, and to me,
Dude,
that is
that is a concept.
and yeah, it's like you said. Why have we never thought about this? And
Right.
I'm glad that we did. And unfortunately, just like any other of these games, there is no release date. We don't know if it's 24. We don't know if it's 27. We don't know if it's 26.
We don't know if it's gonna be the year 2036 Anno
Right.
Domini.
Right.
after the Third World War, after the freaking what is it called? The Vulcans land on Earth and shit.
But yeah, so that was
Oh my
Blight
god,
Survival, man. Pretty, I mean, I say we both had some pretty intense
dude!
lineups there.
Total 180s, total 180s of like games. It's funny because I thought that I was playing it safe with like the kind of game like horror games that I was picking. It didn't have to be specifically horror, but just kind of like what it turned out to be.
Oh
But
yeah,
like,
same. Like
um,
that's just what's been catching my eye, you know?
yeah, for real. Like I don't really have like I don't find a whole lot of fun with driving games or like I mean I do
The
find
new Call
fun
of
driving
Duty.
games, but like the new Call of Duty, I'm like, oh boy, new terrorists, you know,
Right,
like
right.
this is gonna be amazing for like the first like 3 weeks, and then everyone's gonna find out how to play it, and then some dude with like 20 hours of his life dedicated to it is gonna be, you know,
Right.
busting the game, and then next thing you know, PlayStation's gonna ask everybody from Steam to come on over.
Yep. Yep.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna put this out there for the whole world to say, no matter what, if you put a negative review on a video game, keep your negative review on that video game and let those developers and let the people who make those executive calls remember why they got those negative recalls, okay? Those negative reviews.
Oh yeah.
Do not ever put in a new positive review because you actually genuinely like that video game, okay? Like if you've ever seen the like to dislike ratio of Helldivers,
Oh yeah.
dude, it's staggering. And I'm just like, why would anyone want to put a positive review after that shenanigans? Like that does not make any sense
Oh
at all.
no.
You need to, I mean, us as gamers need to remember we do not own these games. They own these games. They have every right to reach into our computers,
Oh yeah.
our PlayStations, Xboxes, and rip these video games out. Just because we spent $20 does not mean that we own the software.
I also am
So,
glad that you brought that up because I'm also glad that real quick that I never got into Helldivers, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
I love watching it. I really
It
do.
seems intense,
I love
but
it
I'm
does,
glad
doesn't
I
it?
never bought
But
it.
yeah, like but I'm not a shoot 'em up person anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so like if even if I was, I'd be like it'd be like Light Bright Indeed, King J, myself, and like her husband, like we'd be all be like roaming around, but I'd be over here with like the med kit going like, okay, here you go, okay, here you go, okay, here
No,
you
that's
go,
why I
tack,
figured
tack,
you
tack,
would like
you know.
Blight Survival because that looks like a game. If I was to buy it, I would stream it for a little bit. But that seems like a game like it's a rainy day outside. I feel like relaxing, not even streaming today, and just hop on and
Mm-hmm.
just do some medieval zombie shit. You know, that's how I kind of
Yeah,
got the vibes off of it. But it seems pretty. I liked it. I like the idea. And like
it's
I said, I'm not
beautiful.
I'm not into medieval shit, but it's a cool concept.
My only one thing that I've kind of noticed about medieval things, like, have you ever noticed that like on like HBO or like Netflix or like even if you watch like what's that one? Well, there's Vikings, the TV show, or like Game of Thrones. Do you ever notice that like when they do like high fantasy, like medieval like themes, everybody's in blues and grays and browns, and there's not like any color
Oh
in
yeah,
their
you're right.
clothing?
You're right.
You know, I hate that like the landscape of like medieval is always like grays, blues, and browns. But then if you go to like, you know, Fallout, everything looks like a bulldozer ran
Oh
over
god,
everything and
yeah.
everything's in browns.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Like,
man.
come on. Put some color into these characters and things. It looks like a beautiful game. It feels
Yes.
like it would be playing like a like a
Oh yeah.
really fun like
Clean.
action adventure
Yeah.
game. Do you know anything about the story? Can you tell us who the developers are or anything like that?
So yeah, let me actually I was actually about to look that up because I did not write that down. So just like
Oh, did not
honestly,
mean to.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
you're fine. So just like all the other ones, there is no how can I say it? Description of it. The only thing that it says is Blight is a medieval co-op extraction set in the alternate 14th century. That's all it is. And the developers is I can't even say this. what the hell kind of name is this? Hener Studio. It's Haenir. Hener?
Hander?
Haender? Yeah.
Hander?
Haender Studio.
I'll have to look it up and see if it's like anybody that I can
Oh,
like.
I guess it is going to be multiplayer too. So that's going to be an interesting concept.
You want to be knights in shining armor with
Dude,
me?
I would love to be knights in shiny armor with
You
you.
can call me Sir Shunalot.
And to go back,
Jonathan the Third.
Ill is made by a developer called Team Clout, by the way. That is also their only game that
Oh.
they made. They haven't made
Wow.
anything back. And Reborn is developed by Knife Entertainment. So, which
Nice.
is, so Blight Survival, by the way, the developers, that is their only game that they made, apparently. So, yeah, all my games are like solo developers, man.
Yeah, man. There's only like, well, I don't know if like all of them are solo developers, but they are definitely, there's the two that, well, Tormented Souls is definitely like indie.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean solo. I mean solo as in the
Like,
only game they made. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. I think Slitherhead's the only one that I can think of that it's its own brainchild, but it has a legacy behind it because of like the developer, the guy who made it, the music, things like that.
Right.
So, it has that going for itself. But like I was saying earlier on in the pod, is that like, um, we'd been here before, where we've had the legacy of Silent Hill be completely botched. I
Right.
guess is the right word for it. In that like, yeah, like I don't know. You can have Akira Yamaoka doing music for you, but it doesn't mean that your video game is going to be amazing.
That
So,
is true. That is true. Just because you have
you know,
somebody famous working with you does not mean it's going to be successful.
right? It's like icing. Doesn't mean that the whole cake is baked all the way through. Like, yeah, dude, I loved your game picks. Like, I'm actually really excited for your games more so than I mean, equal, but like I could drop Tormented Souls and substitute the Knight in Shining Armor
Oh,
one. But
absolutely.
your other two, if you ever get around to playing those,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to watch you play those.
Oh,
If
yeah.
if you ever do, like, yeah, for real.
Yeah, no,
Seriously.
I'm excited for Ill, but God, who knows what that's gonna be. And
Oh my God. I would have
that
anxiety just like remember when you said about Silent Hill, like you were like, oh, I'd go tiptoe, tiptoe.